Elara lived in a small grey village where the sun rarely peeked through the clouds. Her days were filled with the quiet hum of the loom, weaving fabrics that would never brighten her life. Her only companion was an old, blind dog named Shadow, who always sat by her side. One day, a letter arrived, promising a new life in a far-off city. Elara, with a mix of hope and fear, packed her meager belongings. She said goodbye to Shadow, who nuzzled her hand, sensing her departure. The journey was long and arduous, but Elara pressed on, dreaming of a colorful world. When she finally arrived, the city was cold and unwelcoming, not the vibrant place she had imagined. She found work in a factory, where the noise and grime never ceased. She missed the quiet of her village and the comforting presence of Shadow. Months turned into years. Elara never found the happiness she sought. The city had swallowed her whole, leaving her as grey as the village she had left behind. One cold evening, she received a letter, this time bearing terrible news. Shadow had passed away. His time had come. Elara wept, not for the dog, but for all the lost hopes and dreams. She returned to her village, finding it even more desolate than she remembered. Her heart ached with a sorrow that seemed to have no end. She sat by the old loom, her hands idle, the silence deafening. She realized that the new life she had chased was not worth the loss of the simple love she had left behind. Elara spent her final days in the village, alone and filled with regret. Her story, a quiet tragedy of a life spent searching for something that was never meant to be found, and the one thing she had left behind was the only one that truly mattered to her.